All right. Thank you. Welcome to Crackers and Milk. This is your host, David.
What was that, Dave?
I don't know, man. That was just crap. I am here joined once again with Ryan and Jacob.
Howdy.
He paid us this time.
Yeah, through food. I could always do that.
He paid us?
You got paid?
What's this pay you speak
In
of?
friendship.
Friendship. Today, we were talking about John Carter. It came out in 2012. The director is Andrew Stanton. And it was released February 22nd. Right,
March
just double
9th.
check. March 9th. Okay. March 9th. And we'll have Jake do the synopsis, and then we'll go through the movies that were competed against it.
When Civil War veteran John Carter, played by Taylor Kist?
Yeah. I don't know.
Y'all know who he is.
Kushner.
Mysteriously awakens on the surface of Mars, also called Barsoom. He little expects the adventure that awaits him. Carter reluctantly becomes embroiled in an epic conflict among the Red Planet's inhabitants, including Tars Tarkas, voiced by William Dafoe, and Princess Deja Taurus, played by Lynn Collins. As Barsoom is poised on the brink of collapse, war-weary Carter rediscovers his humanity when he realizes that everyone's fate is in his hands.
Okay, so like Jake said, every time I think of William Dafoe, I always think of How I Met Your Mother, Dafoe, or something like that. They did something like that. But anyways, so the competition for the John Carter was, so you had John Carter come out, and then 21 Jump Street was the next movie that came out. Casa de Mi Padre, Will Ferrell, the Spanish one. Hunger Games came out on the 23rd of March that month. Mirror, Mirror, Wrath of the Titans. Then April, Titanic 3D came out in like the first April 4th. And then American Reunion, Cabin in the Woods, Lockout, Three Stooges, Chimpanzee, that was a nature film, documentary. Lucky One, Think Like a Man, 5-Year Engagement, The Pirates. I think that was
It was a claymation.
the claymation.
Supposedly really good.
The Raven.
I heard it was funny.
And then the first movie in May was Avengers, The Best Exotic, Marigold Hotel, Dark Shadows, The Dictator, Battleship, and Men in Black 3.
Yeah.
So that was competition.
The movies
for
after it,
someone.
that's a tough lineup.
Well, that came out in May, like April 3. The Titanic 3D was the biggest one in that one. American Reunion, kind of, because that's that was the
American Pie.
American Pie.
Yeah.
And then the other ones, it's like I don't see anything like Hunger Games. Yeah,
The Hunger
Games was the big one. 21 Jump Street kind of was because
that was a surprise hit.
yeah, and I think that took away some of the thunder of John Carter.
Maybe.
No, the problem with John Carter is it was marketed wrong.
Okay.
Very wrong.
And then, okay, before we get into it, here's the top 10 grossing movies that year. Avengers, Skyfall, Dark Knight Rises, Hobbit, Ice Age, Twilight 2, Amazing Spider-Man, Madagascar 3, Hunger Games, and then Men in Black 3.
I had no chance.
Yeah.
Even with the backing of Disney, which is really weird that they picked up John Carter.
Yeah.
It had no chance.
It-
And the director has done a lot of really good movies.
Yeah.
Bug's Life, Nemo, Wall-E.
Yeah.
I mean, it was set up to be good.
Yeah.
Finding Dory was another thing. I think he just did an episode of Stranger Things.
Okay.
But, I mean...
I don't know what wrong with it.
Someone pointed out to me today, they're like, they like John Carter, but they felt that they needed to change the name of the movie. What do you think?
I think that would have helped. I think if they would have called it A Princess of Mars, it would have made more sense.
The Princess of Mars or Prince of Mars?
Princess of Mars,
Princess.
because that's the
That's the
first book
Oh, okay.
by Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Mm-hmm.
It is a Princess of Mars.
Yeah. Like I thought that was good, and that would have been more descriptive of what it was. where
Even
you-
if they would have
you
called
transform-
it John Carter of Mars,
Yeah.
that would have been because nobody knew what it was because
it
nobody's
was
a
a
nerd like me and who knew. Oh, it's a Edgar Rice Burroughs novel.
Yeah.
John Carter must be a movie about some guy in a hospital.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't even know.
Yeah.
It's just John Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was very interesting about that name selection. I thought that. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that I wanted this to succeed. I liked it the first time I watched it.
Have you watched it more now?
I've watched it a few
Like,
times.
do you understand more and more why it didn't succeed?
Yeah. I don't think. I think this is another case of acting.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, as far as the main actor Taylor Kitsch,
Yeah.
I think it was another Army Hammer kind of thing.
You think so?
To where they were trying.
He had a bad year in 2012 because he was in Battleship too.
Yeah, Battleship was rough, but
Yeah.
he was Gambit,
Yeah.
which Gambit was okay, and I think he was in something else I can't pinpoint right now, but he was kind of up and coming a little bit, and I think that
John Carter heard it.
well, they were trying to, Disney was trying to catch on that
Yeah.
a little bit, and it just didn't work out.
Do you think, like, in that, who would they have done better for a John Carter type of person? No, I don't know.
I can't
That
think of
was
anybody
always-
off the top of my head, but
That always comes up when people talk to me about it, like you bringing up the Anne Hathaway thing with Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, I can't think of anybody, and so that's why I always ask that.
Yeah.
I ask that question at times because of what Jake did.
I should be a little more prepared when I bash on an actor
No,
of
this is fine.
who would
No, that-
fill in better, but
Sometimes
I don't know, there's
no
a-
one's gonna come and say that to you though. Like
Yeah.
some people don't.
I feel that he did okay.
yeah.
Taylor,
Yeah, I think he did okay,
yeah,
but
it was believable
You
for
know,
the most part.
I would have rather have seen William Dafoe in a live action.
And
Like his person,
Yeah.
yeah, instead of the voice.
Instead of voice acting.
Yeah,
well, I thought he did a good job with
He was
Tars
fine.
Tarkus.
Yeah, he was fine, but I just think that it would have been better, a little more, maybe even CGI, like as
Yeah.
far as like his actual
His features.
body movements and
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I could see that. What did you think of Mark Strong though? He is the bad guy.
Yeah,
yeah, so the
he's not my jam.
Mark Strong isn't.
No.
I love him in Kingsman: The Golden Circle when he sings the John Denver song. Man, I love that part.
I like him in oh my gosh,
Sherlock Holmes?
Holmes.
Yeah, he did a great job as a
Good
bad guy there.
Yeah.
Mhm. He did okay in Robin Hood too, in the Russell Crowe
Yeah.
Robin Hood.
Yeah, he's all right.
I didn't see that. But
Yeah, that's a pretty good movie.
It's
And
good.
He's a pretty good bad guy in there.
He plays a pretty good bad. He's like one of the better bad guys, British bad guys.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
British guys always play bad guys.
it's true.
Most of them. Some, yeah. Okay. I like Bryan Cranston. He did really good. He was the thing that one of the things that was a little weird to me was
He was a cavalry man with red hair and a goatee.
the one thing that kind of like I was a little bit like after the first attempted escape by John Carter, I was like, all right. Like at a certain point, I just didn't think it was funny. Like they tried to, I think they played that one a little too much, personally.
I thought it was funny, though, when he does escape and the guy who he banged up against the bar goes and tells the colonel, and he's got the bar imprint on his face.
Yeah. You know who I'm not a big fan of is Thomas Hayden Church.
He did the voice of the one
Oh,
tusk.
the guy that dethroned. Yeah.
Yeah.
You weren't a fan of that, or
No.
are you not a fan of Thomas Hayden Church? Period.
Really.
Yeah.
He doesn't really put a lot of effort in his acting.
No, deep voice, and then he tries to go off looks.
Yeah, him and his
Probably.
Sandman.
Yeah.
That was a pretty rough.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
And then Easy A.
Oh yeah, he was
was
the
a
teacher
teacher.
or counselor.
Yeah. I just don't. I don't think there's much acting going on in his roles,
Mm-hmm.
and you can. I with his voice acting, I can't get past it. It sounds like the same.
And you could picture him like acting like normal, like
Yeah,
this is,
I mean,
You
there's
see, to
nothing.
me, when I first saw it, I didn't recognize his voice in
Yeah.
that. I recognized William Dafoe,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but
I did. I recognized his voice when I first saw the movie in theater, and so that's kind of what threw me off with that a little bit.
Did you like that challenging? Did you like how because one observation with those guys, it reminded me of like an Aboriginal story, where it was like you have Indians fighting and two factions
it's-
fighting, that sort of thing,
this-
like a civil war sort of.
Right. The story to
thing.
me is fantastic. I think it's
Yeah.
a great concept, especially for back when it was written.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. And so it was marketed as a science fiction movie.
Mhm.
It's not a science fiction movie. It's an adventure movie.
Okay, so what they market as is a scientific one or sci-fi movie
Yeah.
when it came out, but it really is an action adventure movie.
Exactly, because
Okay.
that's how it was written. There wasn't a genre of science fiction
Yeah.
when it was written.
There's not a lot of
when the movie was written, or when the book was
when
written.
the book was written.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of movies that you see, like alien movies,
yeah,
where the humans have the superpowers.
Yeah.
It's usually the aliens that come to Earth. They're a little more powerful than the humans are, technology wise, or even physical.
yeah.
To where this kind of reverses that, and
So it's
John,
a reverse type of Superman.
yeah,
sort of,
John
a little-
Carter's the one
little-
that's
has the power.
yeah, right. And I think that's a pretty cool little twist in the story.
Yeah, I liked how he was always escaping at things. Like that was a theme throughout that whole movie. It was him escaping
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
this stuff.
But him finally accepting who he was when he set the princess and Soja,
Yeah,
his mother,
yeah.
take her and go, and then he fights all those wild green
Oh,
Martians.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's when he finally accepted
Yeah.
who he was.
Yeah, like when I saw that, it was like, man, that's a cool scene. That was one of the better scenes that I saw in that movie, where he just laid waste to everybody. I thought that was really cool.
I liked the arena scene when he was fighting the white apes.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. When was this movie made? In 2012?
2012.
Yeah. It was, I mean, CGI-wise, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, you knew the white apes weren't real. You knew the green aliens weren't real, but
Right.
they looked okay.
Yeah. Now with the sci-fi, because I thought it was, when it was like, just the thought while I was watching it was, it's sci-fi, but it's also a period piece. That's something that came into my head, where it was like, there was that connection. You have the American, they got out of the Civil War kind of. They got kind of out of the Civil War thing, and then he got right back into a Civil War sort of thing on Mars.
Yeah, between the two cities.
Yeah.
That's what he was trying to escape, wasn't it?
Yeah.
As a soldier.
Like he wouldn't fight. He didn't want to fight
Yeah.
the American Indians.
Mm-hmm.
Or he didn't want to fight the Indians at all.
Yeah. Saw the Apaches in
Yeah.
Arizona, and
Yeah.
he ends up in that cave. And
What did you guys think of the plot of the bad people, of the bad guys? Like, to me, that was really hard to follow. Like, I've watched this a few times. I just
I've
don't
read quite a
understand
few
it.
books with
Yeah.
similar bad guys who are they're just in charge, and they'll tell you how the world goes.
Yeah.
It's,
But, like,
it
what
seems like
what was the point of them?
it seems like it was
What did
something
they
that's
want?
been done over and over again.
Like, what do you mean?
Just the whole plot of the bad guys.
Like,
No,
what
it's
was
just-
it? I couldn't figure it out.
Well, they wanted to control time. travel of a sort, I guess. I don't know.
They
I know
wanted,
they wanted to keep that connection between Earth and Mars, like to themselves.
They wanted
Not time travel, but
the traveling between the planets. They wanted to keep the people stupid, and so they went with a more warlike leader to lead.
yeah.
Why did they want to keep people stupid?
Because
to keep it under control?
Yeah, to control.
To keep the ninth blue line to themselves, whatever.
Weren't they didn't they also want to kill the planet kind of too? Did that
They
seem like it was
They were
it?
killing the planet because they were backing that faction that was killing the planet.
And they wanted that to kill the planet.
For control.
For control.
For control, yeah.
See, like, I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, it's okay. Like, I can get the plot. I can understand the bad guys keeping that lane for themselves.
There's not
but
much
then
explained.
after that, I was like, what the heck? Because you had Mark Strong go through it while they're walking. And that it's like, what? This is crazy. I don't understand it.
Oh, I would rewatch that scene.
Okay.
Because
I'll rewatch it.
It does explain their position of what they're doing.
I thought it did a little bit, like from what I did catch, but it was like, okay, that just sounds like a dumb. What? It didn't sound very convincing, or it was like, man, I don't get that. I just didn't get it. Like when I was watching it, and when I watched it a few more times, that one was always tough to get.
Yeah. No,
for me.
No, I understand completely that because. So it is sci-fi.
Yeah.
Because it's taking place on another planet. But just look at it through the eyes of a guy going on an adventure.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect movie.
I don't know if it's a perfect movie. It's a good movie, I guess.
There's too many holes. There's just too many holes in the storyline. I mean, like you said, you turn your mind off.
Yeah.
But if I'm trying to figure out what people are doing and why they're doing this and that, then there's no explanation for it in this movie.
I don't know. I see the action of it. That plot doesn't matter to me. It's all that matters is that John Carter is opposing them.
Yeah, and that was pretty cool.
And
his little dog thing was.
I like the dog. The dog was funny and cool.
That dog could have solved all problems.
Oh, yeah, it could.
If he would have just used his little quickness and ate everything, or I don't know,
fast, and
he could have just solved all kinds of problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't need a magic. I forget the term, but
so this movie was Disney's largest box office loss in history. It reported an $84 million lost in their first quarter.
So, John Carter is the seventh most expensive film to ever be made.
That's intense.
But
that to me is like putting a lot of pressure on Taylor, and do it, and it's like really like it wasn't good enough for him, or was it too good for him?
Wasn't that his first big leading role?
It seems like that was his biggest
Seems
one.
like it was.
It was his first leading role.
Yeah.
I want to say he acted on Friday Night Lights.
Yeah,
as
so
well.
Yeah, but that was
what
more
I
of an
got
ensemble.
was like the big movies that he got on was Wolverine, Battleship, and John Tucker Must Die, and then Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
He was one on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like,
But I don't think those were any leading roles. Gambit wasn't a leading role.
Battleship wasn't,
Right.
and John Tucker Must Die. I was like, he was on John Tucker Must Die. Where I couldn't place him
Yeah. No.
in that one.
So I don't know. Just the love story between him and the princess.
Okay, yeah, that was good. I felt that was believable.
I felt they had good chemistry between the two actors.
Okay.
She's really pretty, but I don't think I was into her acting so much. But she's really pretty.
Yeah.
I thought it funny as he grabs a sword from her and is like, "Stand behind me, ma'am," and
Yeah.
she ends up taking the sword and is like, "No, you stand behind me."
There's some good stuff in the movie. It was filmed in Utah as well.
Yep.
Yeah, was it the salt flats? Some on the
Big
salt
Water,
flats?
Utah.
Or yeah, because like that That was like, was that Flaming Gorge? No.
Mhm.
Flaming Gorge would
No.
be down there? No.
No,
that would be
I want to say they did, but they did film some at Lake Powell.
Lake
Yeah.
Powell, that's what
Yep.
yeah, sorry, I just don't know the lake.
Yeah.
I've never been down there too long. Like you said, with the fighting, so throughout the movie, sometimes getting behind the main character is easy for me, like with Hitchhiker's Guide, getting behind him, Martin Freeman, I could.
Yeah.
Getting behind Armie Hammer, for the most part, I could at a certain point. Like maybe at certain points when I watched the movie, I got behind him. And the other movies that we talked about, like Master and Commander, I could get behind Russell Crowe. I totally got behind him at a certain point, and then I was sold on him the whole movie.
Okay.
And then another one. What was the other one that we talked about? Sahara. Matthew McConaughey was really tough for me to get behind. Like we don't have to rehash it, but like Taylor, that fighting scene was the time where I could get behind him. So the rest of the movie, I was sold on him after the big fighting scene, because the music did get you heart wrenching, and you really did start rooting for him from that point on. But up until like from that point until the beginning, or from the beginning of the movie until that point, it was tough for me to get behind him. I had a very difficult time getting behind him.
He was somewhat unlikable in the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's on purpose, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was trying to
Escape his memories.
And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not too many people can get behind a drunk like that.
Yeah. No, and
But I see where you're going with that. The acting made it seem. I think it was different than what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
I think you were supposed to feel for him a little more than
because you can't get behind a drunk. I know you can't get behind a drunk, or you don't want to, but like you can understand for the most part from wars and all that stuff. That's a mental toll that you can like feel something for him, because his wife did die, his daughter did die too. So it was like there was things that you wanted to root for him, but like it was tough for me to get behind it until he started fighting, like that fighting scene where everybody was surrounding him and he was just laying waste to everybody.
Yeah.
That's when I was really able to get behind him, and like I was starting to feel for him at that point.
So I've read all the books.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that the movie, John Carter, is much better story
than the book,
than The Princess of Mars.
I could see that.
It's much more cohesive. It makes sense.
Well, you gotta look at when it was written.
Yeah.
There wasn't much known about Mars.
Yeah.
And I don't really think, they really didn't talk about Martians too much back then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this book was written in Utah. And so...
Wait, the book was written in Utah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So it was written in Utah, and then almost 100 years later it was filmed.
In Utah.
Mostly in Utah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But, I mean, how much can your imagination run wild in Utah? No, we've got some beautiful parks here in Utah, but I don't know if the author's from Utah, but
Edgar Rice Burroughs?
yeah.
No, he's British.
Okay. Thank you, Jake. I have not read the books.
Well,
But-
I haven't either.
Yeah.
Like, watching the movie makes me want to like listen to the book a little.
Listen.
Yeah, I
can let you borrow
listen
them,
more.
Dave. I've got the first three.
I know.
Nice.
Listening just makes it like I
They're
listen to
literally
books more.
like that big. It's like a couple hours read.
I know. No, for you it's a couple hours read. Yeah, for me it's a little tougher, for the most part.
Okay.
No, like just Ready Player One. I watched the movie, I liked the movie, but then it made me want to read the books, or it made me want to read the book, and I just listened to the book, and I get into it a little bit more with listening, so that's why I do it.
Yeah.
I think I could do it.
You have to show me. This is how I learn. You have to show me. I can't just read something. You have to show me how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So
well,
I get it.
guys, the movie is much better than the book.
I enjoyed the movie for the most part. I liked it. I just think that as a a body of everybody else.
Body of work.
Yeah, everybody else watching it. I mean, it's pretty long. It's a long movie. It's probably the longest movie that we.
It is long.
Yeah, and so I think if you cut out a few.
Couple things.
I mean, there's a lot to it that if you do cut out, you're gonna miss.
Stuff. Yeah.
Like we talked about before, there's a lot of holes in this storyline.
Yeah. Mm.
So I don't know. It's kind of a tough movie to really sit there and think that this is a Jurassic Park kind of movie where everybody can just shut their mind off and run away from the dinosaur.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's a little more than that.
Yeah. What do you think, Jake? Like,
I love this movie.
132 minutes.
It's
113 minutes?
132.
32.
So,
32.
just as an adventure movie, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
What guy doesn't want to be the hero of his own story?
Yeah, but everybody's a hero of their own story.
I'm the villain of my own story.
No, that's how you perceive yourself. Yeah, sure, you're going to be the villain of your own story, but it's not. It's not. You're the hero of your own story. So to me, it's like...
No, but he actually got to be the hero who saved Mars.
Okay.
But the first movie, he didn't want that.
No.
He didn't want to be any kind of hero.
Exactly.
He just wanted to get away.
No, he wanted to run away from his problem.
Yeah, he didn't even want to be in humanity anymore. He just wanted to be away from everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it went through those. He said no to those, and then he said no to Jadek to jump. He's like, no, I won't do it. And then he's like, the only way you could do it is if you say, I can only say if you help.
Yeah.
And he did. He came and helped. And so, yeah, I see that. Like he wanted to fight against the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I interrupted you, Ryan.
No, you took the reins. That's where I was going with it.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
So, it's a movie I'll enjoy many times in the future.
Yeah.
It's just a good classic action piece.
Okay. So then, what do you guys think of the ending? Do you really think it set it up for a second?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
And Disney planned on doing a trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
You really think that was a believable ending on John Carter?
Yes.
That they set it up for the second?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because that's how the book is. He finally gets back to Mars.
Yeah. No, I get it. I was just kind of wondering.
Yeah, throughout, he's trying to get back to Mars. That's the whole thing. And then it tells you the story.
So,
because he wrote it in his journal, right? And his
nephew Ned or Ed, but yeah.
So he's reading it, and that's like their prestige. Half the movie is
yeah.
Hugh Jackman reading the journal. But so, would I recommend this to everybody? Yes. Yes, I would.
That's a good question to ask about all those other movies too. I think that's one of the questions that we need to ask people. Ask ourselves when we do this is if we recommend it.
No, I think we filled that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. In the other episodes, I think that we filled that requirement of.
Okay.
Would we recommend this?
Uh-huh. Okay.
So, my opinion, I'll go back to the whole son birthday party analogy. If my son was wanting to watch this at his birthday party, yeah, I'd go watch it. But if I had an option of buying it on DVD, I wouldn't. It wouldn't be part of my collection.
I'd buy it on Blu-ray.
I would watch the sequel though.
You would watch the sequel?
I would, yeah.
It set it up perfectly. Mm-hmm. How he finally gets the whatever it is, the telegraph wire that allows him to telegraph himself to Mars.
The Tesseract. I don't know.
And he sees his wife in his mind, how she's coaching him through the words.
Well, is it his wife or was it
they got married?
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah,
they got married at the end.
They were married at the end. Yeah.
And after their first night together, he throws away the tablet, and then the Mark Strong character sends him back to Earth.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he wakes up in that cave,
and
he's all stiff, and
yeah,
he used all that gold to fund his research to find a way back.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I would be okay with the sequel. I would be okay with 2. I don't know if
So
It won't
I
happen.
would. It won't happen, but I would be okay with it. Or if they reboot it, I would be okay with it. But
So
I'm not gonna
there's
fall head over heels over it.
it's going to be rebooted. Disney let go of the rights. It's went back to the Edgar Rice
I actually
Burroughs.
read on that. Yes,
The
he's
the
trying
trust.
to. He's trying to get it. The trust is trying to get it as a movie. Sorry, Jake.
not as a movie. I think they're trying to Netflix it.
Okay.
See, and that would be smarter. Like, okay,
Here,
Harry, I love Harry Potter the books. They should turn that into a TV series more than movies because the movies really do suck.
Would you expect more out of a theater movie or a Netflix movie?
I would.
As
I
far
would
as-
expect
as
more
far
out
as
of theater.
Graphics and writing and all the above,
Theater.
acting and stuff.
Theater.
Right.
Yeah.
I think John Carter would be perfect for a Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, isn't that small
that's some-
of a thing?
yeah,
That's
that's
small.
something that-
I guess that small. Of
Not
books.
even a series, like
Mm-hmm.
a TV series, more of like a 2-3 movie
Well,
thing.
like Netflix did with Unfortunate Events, they followed all the books.
Yeah.
13 books, so they
Yeah.
did all those episodes, but like they could do that with John Carter somewhat
Either or,
like that probably.
either or one of those,
Okay.
either a movie series or some kind of a TV series thing,
Each
episode.
7-episode thing is one book.
Yeah. And I think
that could be believable.
I think it would be a good thing for that. I feel that would be. I'd watch it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed I haven't watched the whole Gotham series.
Oh yeah. That
Don't
one-
be disappointed.
Well, I want to know
their take on it.
their take on before Batman,
Okay.
Yeah.
I can.
and the
I did like the first season. The second one I
yeah,
haven't watched.
and
a ton of.
the becoming of
after.
the villains, these
Yeah.
super villains,
Mhm.
so to speak.
Yeah.
But just to get back to John Carter, I think that'd be great for Netflix on a
Mm-hmm.
Netflix. Yeah,
I agree. You know, the surprising thing is eventually this movie made money.
How, is it from like
Oh.
video sales?
Overseas and DVD sales.
DVDs.
So it was $250 million to make.
Mm-hmm.
To date, it's made $284.1 million.
Wow.
So it eventually made movie. At the time,
Yeah.
Disney had a $200 million loss.
Yeah,
Dude. And to me, I did buy it, but I bought it like cheaply on iTunes, and it was like, okay, I'll buy that. Like I don't mind. I didn't mind. I don't mind it. It's just there's just too many like you're thin about movie sins. It's like sometimes it's hard to do that one. Like Sahara was 10 times hard for me to forgive their sins. This one's like,
when did you buy John Carter?
I don't know.
A while ago, or for this research?
No, dude. Okay, I have a problem. It's called buying movies. That's my problem. Dude, I have
There's worse problems to have. It's not like you're addicted to crack or anything.
Are you?
I have like $7.95 just on Apple. Because I do Apple, and so I have like $7.95. That's a lot.
That's
And-
the amount
wait.
of movies.
Yeah. That, okay, hold on.
Impressive.
Hold on. Problem. This
How
is the
come you
problem.
can't get to 800.
Hold on. This is the problem. I moved home in 2016. That's when I started buying.
Yeah.
2016 till now. 700.
That's-
Like, dude, it's stupid. Stupid, but
If you go mathematically, that's 3 years.
yeah. Yeah, I know. It's a lot of money.
I don't
man.
know. I mean,
No, like, I bought 2 movies for this.
how many have you watched?
Of the 700. and
Percentage
whatever.
wise.
Most of them. Well, like, there a lot
You
of
wanna say
all
80?
the movies. I'd say all the movies I've watched before, and then I got them. And then there's some that I'm like, I haven't watched yet, but I'm going to. Like, I bought 7 Psychopaths. I don't know why I bought it, but I wanted to watch it because it looked okay. I'm like, oh, I'll watch it. And then, like, Iron Fist, the one with Russell Crowe. That one I haven't watched, but I have it.
I got a
like,
question
have some
for you.
other ones.
Which one of those movies that you can pinpoint right now
Huh.
that you would be ashamed to admit that you're going to admit on this podcast?
That I have?
Uh huh.
I wouldn't be ashamed of any of them.
Whatever. There's
No,
got to be
what-
one.
Like what?
There's got to be one.
Like what? Like what do
okay,
you mean
for
ashamed
instance,
of?
let's say like,
Tinkerbell.
Well,
Treasure
no,
of the
let's-
Lost.
I won't buy that. I
just
wouldn't
for
waste money
instance,
on
let's
that.
say I have an iPod,
Yeah.
if those are a thing anymore, and you have a playlist.
Mm-hmm.
What would you be ashamed of? I'd be ashamed of having Britney Spears music on there.
Oh, dude.
So just pinpoint one movie that you would be like,
there's
I'm not going to bring home a date and watch this movie.
personal reasons I won't tell you. But there are some that I bought for a specific reason
Yeah.
for being stupid. That's all it
Well,
was.
name one of those.
Wild Things. That was one of the
Wild
stupid
Things.
things that I bought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually a decent movie.
It's not a bad movie,
Yeah.
but I understand why I bought it, and it was a stupid reason why I bought it. That would be I'd be ashamed
What
of
about
why.
Kung Pao? Do you have that in that?
Kung Pao?
Yeah.
No, I watched that one time. I did not enjoy that one. Like I didn't get behind it.
Do you have Black Dynamite?
Black Dynamite. I don't know what
It's
you're
been a
talking
minute
about.
since I've seen that one.
I don't even remember what you're talking about on Black Dynamite.
What about
I don't know. Dude, you can always go look through all
what's
my
that
movies.
Clint Eastwood's son's movie, The Longest Kiss or something? I don't know.
Oh no. I don't have that. I don't. I like romantic comedies. I don't have a whole lot. Like
So I'm saying, do you have one in there that you wouldn't ever tell anybody that you?
No, I don't think I
Kate
do.
and Leopold.
No, you could go through them and like
Shakespeare in Love.
no. I don't have any movie that I'd be massively embarrassed by.
Okay, fine.
But like music, I'm not that embarrassed by some of the music. Like the reason why I have some of that music, I'd be a little embarrassed by.
Space
But that's
Jam.
what I would be embarrassed. Why would you be embarrassed by that?
I'm just saying. I'm just shooting out anything that comes to my mind.
No, maybe if I bought Rebound, I'd be embarrassed by Rebound.
The
a
Good
little
Dinosaur.
Lone Ranger.
bit. Good Dinosaur? No, I would never buy that one. The reason why I would never buy that one is because it's $20 usually, and I hate that movie. I hate The Good Dinosaur. I just don't like it. I can't stand it. It's so weird.
Pixar shorts.
No, I haven't bought that. Like I've
I don't know.
been tempted to buy that. Like I don't know. The reason would embarrass me more than the movie
Geely.
would embarrass me. No,
Giggly.
no. Like I like
Little
Ben
Einsteins.
Affleck. No. I don't buy that. Like man.
Jersey Girl.
No. Like you could really go through all my stuff, and I wouldn't be ashamed of most of it. I don't think I would
Most
be
of
ashamed
it.
of all of it.
Okay, you're saying most of it. There's got to be a movie in there.
This is I'm embarrassed of the reason why I bought movies. That's what I'm embarrassed by.
Okay, fine.
I'm not embarrassed by the movies.
isn't going
I buy.
anywhere.
No,
it's not.
He's
going
dug in
anywhere.
his heels and
No, I don't know what movie I'd be embarrassed. Look, give me a week. Let me answer this question in a week. That this would be the embarrassing movie that I'm embarrassed by.
okay.
Just give me a week because I got 795. Like that's tough to like. Oh yeah, I'd be embarrassed by that.
I'm just saying right off the top of your head, something
Yeah,
that you
no,
might
I
know.
can't.
All right.
I can't.
I can tell you, I'm not embarrassed by liking John Carter.
I would be, but okay. No, I'm just kidding. No, John Carter's good.
Sequel, yes.
Sequel, yes.
TV series better would be great.
Which would be a sequel.
Would be great. It would be a sequel.
A reboot, but
Reboot.
Reboot.
And personal library, no, for me.
Nothing embarrassing.
no. He's saying he
Oh,
would.
I
You
would
wouldn't
not-
buy it for
I
personal
wouldn't
library.
buy it.
I would buy it personal library.
I got a personal library, so I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the sequel. I would watch it, but I think it'd be a better TV series than a
See, to
sequel.
me, I would have liked to see what the writers could have done with the original book because how much better they made A Princess of Mars.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see what they could have done with the Gods of Mars.
Yeah. And it's just, it was unfortunate that they chose something else instead of another than something,
they
could have
couldn't
done a little
justify.
bit better.
They couldn't justify doing
The
a
money.
sequel to that.
Well, I'm not saying to justify. They could have chosen a different story, a better story, a better introduction to John Carter than what they did. You know what I mean? Like they could have, if they really. Sometimes it's unfortunate of the story that it was introduced. Sometimes that plays a role into a movie. I think. Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
A lot of times people will judge the book by its cover, by its name,
Yeah.
and they failed on John Carter. It's not.
It was misnamed.
Misnamed. Yeah.
Mismarketed.
Even just Of Mars would have made
a huge difference.
A big difference, just because now you know what you're kind of getting into.
Because when you go to the movies and you're either looking at the marquee and seeing, okay, I know what the Matrix is, I know what that is, I know what John Carter. Oh, well, it's probably some period piece. I'm not going to watch that.
Yeah.
Well, and even if you did some research on it and find out that it was done by Disney, you'd be like, what is Disney making a movie about John Carter? Then you research who John Carter is, and it probably goes off on some guy who's in prison or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Why are they making a movie about President Carter? Because they're confused.
Is that Jimmy Carter's son?
Is that like his brother?
I don't know.
Peanut farmer in Pennsylvania?
Wait, didn't his brother do a beer?
Sure.
He started a beer. I thought he started a beer company. Sorry.
I don't know.
Jimmy Carter. Well, thank you.
Weird note to end on, but...
Yeah, that's always weird. You know, I always bring the weirdness in this. I always do. So. Thank you for joining. Rate, subscribe. Tell us what you think of John Carter. What you think of it. We'd love to hear comments. Remember, help build, don't destroy. Have a good day.